Hey, friends, welcome back to Notes from the Edge. This is where we talk about the things we should be talking about, but we aren't. The conversations we should have been having all along. I'm your host, Lisa Lacey. I'm a writer, trauma educator, executive advisor, and author of the upcoming memoir, Notes from a Certified Mad Woman, launching for pre-sale in October. We're so excited about that. Yes. Today, we're going to talk about why high performers don't need more time. I can't wait to dig into this one because I say that a lot. I need more time. I need more time. I need more time. So, welcome back, my friends. Listen, we've got C.W. Hawley here, who is a keynote speaker, author, founder, and CEO of Let's Talk Time LLC and the creator of TIME Framework. Drawing from years of operational leadership, executive coaching, and experience leading teams in senior living communities, she helps leaders move from reactive schedules to intentional, we love that word in here, intentional, high impact leadership. That I'm assuming CW is probably going to leave you a lot less exhausted. Her work blends operational excellence with emotional intelligence. We love that in here too. Teaching high executive performers how to reclaim their time, reduce overwhelm, create sustainable leadership rhythms. I love that word for leadership, and communicate with better clarity, which is going to give everybody around you a more meaningful life. So, CW's mission is simple but powerful, helping people to stop feel consumed by time and lead their lives with that word again, intention. CW, welcome in. How are you today? Thank you for being a guest.
Thank you. No, I'm good. I'm good, Lisa. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about this topic because I think this is a little mind game we all play with ourselves pretty nastily that gets us into a bit of stuckness and a little bit of trouble. So most of us say, I don't have enough time, but you argue that's not the problem. If that's not the problem, then where are we getting hung up?
Yeah, so I think I know this to be true because I lived this in my own mind, in my own heart, my own soul, that I felt that time was a scarce resource,
Mhm.
that we don't have enough, right? But if you think about it, we all have 24 hours in a day. It is set. It's 24 hours. If we may not have the same amount of years, the same amount of months, the same amount of minutes to our life, but typically it's the same amount, it's the same 24 hours in a day. So we whether it's from trauma or past experiences, the way you were brought up, we've been conditioned to view time as this scarce, non renewable resource, which it is non renewable. However, it's not as scarce because it's set. So we have to shift into not thinking about it as being so rare and scarce, but thinking about time is not, it's not a lack of time. It's a lack of clarity, right? It's a lack of clarity.
And
It's too many
intention,
decisions.
right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah. It's a lack
intention.
of clarity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and if again, if we are all such powerful beings in our own personal power, and if our thoughts are constantly on scarcity, guess what we're going to be getting? We're going to be getting a lot more of scarcity. So if we
Yep.
say, I don't have time, I don't have time, we ain't gonna have the time. That
Right.
it's quantum mechanics. It's like
Right.
with science, quantum physics.
Right.
That's just
Sure.
how it works. So I loved what you said though. You said perspective shift. So what I love about transformational coaches, and it was actually transformational coaches that made me want to be one, but that was the kind of the pinnacle of the change in me actually moving forward instead of just looking backwards. But that's what I love about transformational coaches is we are interested in moving clients forward, right? And not continuing to look backwards, especially when it comes to time, right? Like that time has already gone, but you've got this next, I love 24 hours in front of you. So what are you going to do with that? How are you going to make the most of that? And I love that you highlighted that you have that 24 hours, but we really never know. And I live with a congenital blood disease. It's very high risk, very life threatening. So I face my mortality in a different way than most people do. But mission and purpose and meaning are so very valuable and important to me, because that's what keeps me going, um, in terms of time, right? Because we don't know when we're going to drop, but we can
Correct.
set intentions for what we can assume we will have, which is tomorrow, and be certainly grateful if we do wake up for tomorrow. So
Absolutely.
I love that. A perspective shift, a shift is what people need. So your time framework begins with understanding our relationship to time. So that's interesting, looking at it as a
Yeah.
relationship. So, how does somebody's relationship with time become unhealthy without them even realizing it, sometimes unconsciously?
Yeah, so I like to compare this to just a personal relationship. So if I were to talk to the audience and say the name of an ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, ex-partner, you might have these toxic feelings come up. I mean, they're an ex for a reason. Maybe it was
Yeah,
you,
you
maybe it was
said
them,
X, and I'm
whatever.
already like,
Right?
I
Right. Right.
got it.
There's a relationship there and there's a reason it's unhealthy, but we don't take the time and honor ourselves in observing what our relationship is with time, right? So
Yeah.
we know it. Well, here's the thing, most people don't understand it's unhealthy unless they hear something like this. Hey, it's a relationship. Do I need coaching? Do I need time coaching? Do I need to set my intentions more concretely? Do I need clarity of where I'm going? You get to choose how you use your time, right? I'd never want listeners to think that I'm a scout of, oh, you've got all this time, choose well, right? I've been faced with a, a mortality issue as well. I was diagnosed with leiomyosarcoma in 2018. And at
Oof.
that point in my life, time became not guaranteed, right?
Mhm.
And it drives me crazy that people have to be faced with these specific diagnoses or maybe a huge incident that makes us face our relationship with time. So that's why it's so important to put this out there in the universe, right?
Mhm.
When people need to hear this message, don't wait for that to happen. Your time is not guaranteed, so it's so important that you make sure that relationship is healthy now, right?
Yeah.
And going
Yes.
back to your purpose and meaning and intention, it's again, it's not the lack of time, it's the lack of clarity. What do you want to do most right now? What are you called to do? What's going to make you most impactful? And we're choosing to use our time towards those intentions.
Yeah. I love
Yeah.
that. I love that choice. It's a
Yes.
personal choice.
It's a
And we get
choice.
to it's a privilege, it's an honor. We get to choose
Absolutely.
what we do with it, because it is a gift, and you and I, after having gone through what we've been through, are certainly very grateful for that time and honor and recognize that time. So I love that. I love the idea that it's a relationship, because in a relationship you communicate, right? So we're constantly communicating with time, and I guarantee you, if you had done a survey, most of us human beings, probably 90%, have a negative relationship with time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And we've surveyed before, so
Oh,
that's absolutely true.
okay. What'd you come up
Yes.
with? What were your numbers at roughly?
Oh, it was like 97%.
Okay, I
Yeah,
was
and I mean,
close.
we did 100 people and,
Wow.
did in
Wow.
all aspects of life, all seasons of life, and
Yeah.
they're like, "No, no, I never have time. I never have time to do this. I never d" It's
Yeah.
clarity, it's a choice, right? Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think to go back to your question about how do we know when that relationship becomes unhealthy? Well, when you're if you observe the way or kind of take note of the way you're using your time, is it giving you peace, even if it's tired peace, right? Or is
Right.
it giving you, you know, aggression and guilt and, those types of
Anxiety.
feelings?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
anxiety. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good way
Are
to
you
look at
can
it. How does
Yeah.
it make you feel
Sure,
when you are
sure.
doing these activities or making these decisions? Or are you even making decisions? Because a lot of people are on autopilot and they don't even know. right?
Survival mode for sure, for
Yes.
sure. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Talk to us a
Mhm.
little bit about survival mode because boy oh boy, I certainly stayed stuck in victim mentality, in the blame game, and survival mode for far too long. It should
Yeah.
this does not have to be a trudge. It doesn't.
Right, sure. Sure.
And
Yeah, and
it
that's
can happen quickly. The
yes.
change, the perspective shift. Yes.
Yes, yes. I talk a lot about time traction, decreasing time debt, and I think one of those, uh, trying to go back to your question. Sorry, Lisa, tell me, ask me that question again one more time.
Okay, hang on. Let me get to where I was.
Sorry.
You're good. You're good. You're good.
We have time for it.
We have all the time in the world. Survival mode. That's where we were. I didn't even
Yes,
need to look at it. We
survival
were on
mode. Yes,
survival mode.
thank you.
You're getting
Yes,
stuck.
survival mode.
Because remember, I spent
Yes.
years in anger and resentment and the blame
Yeah,
game and victim mentality, and it
yeah,
sucked. It was
yeah.
terrible.
No,
It was a terrible waste
yeah.
of my time.
For sure, and we're in survival mode in so many different aspects, right? But if you find yourself saying that or telling other people that you don't have enough time to do the things that you internally really want to do, or
Mhm.
maybe you're making time for things that you're guilted into, that's
Yes.
surviving because
Yes.
that's not intentional, right? So
Right.
using time as an excuse, going back to your question about when your relationship with time feels it starts to feel unhealthy, if you're using time as an excuse for things that you really feel strongly about or you wish you could do, that's survival mode, right? That's
Yeah.
that's going into that unhealthy relationship with time, which to be fair, if you think back about traditional learning, institutional learning, public school, those types of things, we were not taught how to manage time. There was no
No.
course. Now we were talked at, we were talked to,
And
but
we
we
were
weren't
kept on a
taught.
schedule. Yes.
Right. But that
Yeah.
was, we weren't taught why.
No.
We were asked our goals. What are your goals? Why didn't you turn in your homework? Why aren't you managing your time? Why aren't you prioritizing? We were not taught how. So kind of going into that guilt mode, oh, I don't know how to manage time, or, I'm not doing it well. I'm a big believer that we all manage time. We weren't taught how, but we all manage time, right? If you're a functioning adult, you're bringing in some income, you're surviving, you're managing your time. You may just not be doing it well, and that's where my coaching moves from. Right, my coaching
You're like, that's where
move
I
'cause,
come in.
yeah, my coaching moves from time management to everybody's doing, right?
Yeah,
Because is time management positive or negative?
it just
It's
is.
neutral.
Yeah,
Right. You're managing it. You're alive.
yeah,
You're managing it somehow to time strategy. And
yeah.
that's where creating time traction, being more impactful, possibly moving margins, like really getting to those things that you want to do that bring you peace, that serve other people well, just as well as it serves you. That's what the time strategy
That's
is
the
about.
ticket. Is it
Yeah.
reciprocal, right?
Right.
Not this
Yes.
nurturing martyrdom and taking care of, sacrificing to the point
Right.
of your own exhaustion,
Right.
but giving in reciprocal relationship, which is one of the
Yes.
magical things that happens on this transformative journey is, the trash tends to take itself out in terms of negativity in your life, and it becomes replaced with some beautiful humans that are on the new vibration and the growth path that you're on. At least that's
Yes.
what has transpired in my life and many of the clients that I work with. So,
Absolutely.
so many of our listeners are actually executives and high achievers who have built careers, but they've also survived trauma. Maybe they're in midlife like I am and have aging parents, still raising kids, so to speak. I mean, mine's out of the house, but we still raising her. It's
Mhm.
hard to be a single young woman right now.
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
But
And
perfectionism,
men.
yes, it is.
Yes.
It's just it's hard for all of us right now, guys. You're
It's
not
tough.
alone. You're not
Exactly. You're
alone.
never alone. You're never alone, for sure. We're here.
It's sucking for some of us some days too. It's
Mhm.
still that's one thing about this journey that I think we get misled because people are like, "Oh, it's going to be great." It's not always great. You just
No.
get better at managing it,
Exactly.
right? You get
Exactly.
better at
Exactly.
managing it.
For sure.
So, okay, so we've identified how to determine if we have an unhealthy relationship with time in terms of how does it make us feel, that's a good kind of body check, body based exercise to go into. I love that. You talk about aligning leadership with individuality instead of forcing ourselves into productivity systems that weren't built for us. This is
Mm,
freaking huge. This
yes.
could revolutionize so many people's lives at work who are
Oh, yeah.
struggling and wanting to quit and in toxic environments at work. So, how can somebody recognize when they're trying to fit into someone else's box or a productivity system or produce for your worth kind of thing?
Yeah, when you continue to feel frustrated, when it's working for someone else and it's not working for you, and you're following the same patterns, it's not built for you. Listen,
Where were you 5
how
years ago, girl?
I know. Here's the thing. How many times have we all heard from like gurus? Get up at 5 a.m., run 2 miles, drink a green shake, run 2 miles, do yoga, do Pilates, like,
It's
you
too
know,
much.
and then come back and meditate for 3 hours.
Meditate for four
It does
hours.
not it
I
does
know.
not work for everyone, and
No.
that's okay. And you have to give yourself permission to try something different.
Yes.
People always say you're most productive in the morning. I'm a big believer that I am most productive in the morning. However, I know a lot of people that are very productive in those wee hours of like 1 a.m. to 2 a.m.
Ah,
And
3 a.m., girl. 3
yes,
a.m. Yes.
as
Yes.
a world, we have to come to the understanding that we were all built differently. We're all human.
Yes.
We have some similarities, but we're all built
Mhm.
different, and every system is not made for everyone. And that is coming from the person who believes in systems and processes and those types of executive functions, right? However, what happens in the corporate world is you set these structures and standards. Go back to Leadership 101. Everybody doesn't learn the same, right?
Mhm.
Maybe you're a visual learner, maybe you're a tactile learner, maybe you're do it as you go. Those types of things. There's so much proof in the world that we were built differently, right?
Mhm.
Even those similarities that we can. It is unfathomable. I can't even say that word today.
I'm
To
not
to
gonna try to
think
say it because
to
I'll mess it up
right?
now
I
too.
know. Blah, blah, blah. To
Unfathomable. Unfathomable.
yes,
Oh, girl,
like
you got me
ludicrous.
messed
I'll
up
go with
now.
ludicrous. It is
Go
ludicrous
with
to
that one.
think that um that everything is going to work for everyone. It's not. So just
Yeah.
like like a diet, or if you're trying to
Mhm.
be stronger,
I say
um, you
addiction
know,
recovery even. If AA is not
exactly.
your
It doesn't
thing, you didn't fail. You didn't
you did
fail.
not fail. Correct.
Maybe that
Correct.
system is not built for your system. So
Yep,
you
and that's
try
okay.
something else. Yeah.
Right.
Instead of
Right.
getting
Right.
shamed and blamed and humiliated and
Exactly.
and because that ends up so many people, we lose a lot of people going back out because they
Mhm.
got shamed and blamed and falling down is just part of the process. That's science
Yeah.
too. That's studies. Falling down is just part of the process. So,
Yeah.
but I love this concept, and I'm going to be playing with this week. My own relationship with time. How healthy is it? See how I feel about how I'm spending time. One of my current practices is to rest without guilt because
So
for
good.
yeah, isn't it? But
So
so
good.
hard.
Yes.
It's hard to do. Because
Yes.
so much of my life was built around I'm worthy because I produce, right?
Right. Right.
As a kid,
Because it's
I
rewarded you.
yes,
It's
because as a
rewarded you
kid,
so much.
yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, the straight
Yeah.
A's, the captain of all the teams, and the more I
Mhm.
do, the more people are gonna see me, and it still didn't work with my family.
Right.
And I just continued that and became a workaholic as a it was necessary, yes, but some of it wasn't necessary also. Does that make sense? Like
Absolutely.
we needed to
Absolutely.
I needed to provide for the family, but I could have cut myself some slack. So one of my current daily practices is to rest without guilt. True, true, true rest. Not what needs to be done, not the dishes, not the towels, not the spreadsheet, but just rest my body and do some breath work. Not crazy meditating into another world, because I've never been able to do that very skillfully. It's
Yeah.
just not my jam.
Yeah.
I like martial arts better. I
Yeah.
like stuff that moves
Yeah.
to get my
Yeah.
body moving. But
Yeah.
yeah, rest without guilt. I think that's a good way to use your time.
That's huge, and again, we're so conditioned to be rewarded for working those extra hours,
Mm.
staying, on the job later, those types of things. I intentionally, as a leader, after kind of my big, life-changing perspective shift, as a leader, I made choices to accommodate my team in different ways, right? If I saw somebody staying late, instead of that triggering the thought, "Oh, they're really committed. Why didn't they get it done during the day?" And not that it's necessarily always negative that as this example, stay late, but why are they staying late,
Yeah.
right?
And
Instead
how
of
can I support you so you don't have to?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Am I
Yeah.
missing the boat on something as a leader? Let's
Yeah.
talk about it. You're leaving at 6 o'clock every night. What are we missing? Maybe it's a time slot that you should be doing specific tasks at a different time during the day, right? So yeah, I mean, I felt like at the end of my kind of corporate journey, I really prided myself on thinking differently about that. But it
Yeah.
is, we're very similar in that, overachiever, workaholic for years and years. But the resting without guilt,
Hmm.
resting because we're human, resting
Yeah.
because our body needs the recharge, and not resting thinking about what you're doing next. Yes,
Exactly. That's the
that's
hard
that's
part.
hard.
It is.
I have ADHD. That's very, very difficult for me,
Yeah. To get
right?
your mind to
But
just stop.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely. But it's so important.
Well, and with daily practice, it gets easier and easier and easier and easier. So that is my
Yeah,
current daily practice, is to rest
love
without
it.
guilt. So I love the word aligned leadership. So some of the stuff that I do with people, we end up in resonance, right? We want to be in congruence. In other words, we want to be
Mhm.
congruent in this arena, who we are in this arena, who we are in this arena. So we're not like this person over here and this person over here and this person over here, but be very in a state of resonance, which is just another word for alignment. So talk to me about aligned leadership, because it seems like you're in that now, and that's a shift for you. I'm assuming your near death scare was probably the biggest shift for you, but how has it changed you as a leader, and what have you seen in the people that work with you as a result?
Yeah, so I remember kind of before the shift, I'll call it the shift, right? I
Okay.
remember before that going in, I ran a senior living community. So I was in one specific community, and then I ran a large portfolio. And so thinking back about kind of both of those seasons of life, I remember getting in my car after working all day and feeling like I had just been performing on a Broadway stage.
You were exhausted. Yeah.
It was, "Okay, now I can take my costume off. Now I can take my"
Mhm.
that's what it felt like, right? And I don't wanna say that I was being unauthentic, but it was definitely a performance, right?
Yeah.
Now, it was working, it was moving the business, but
Mhm.
the aftermath personally, you know, destroyed a marriage, right? All these things because of that continued performance, because I was not aligned with, what I call my true self, those types of things. I wasn't
Yeah.
giving myself rest without guilt, those types of things. And so after the shift, we can talk about those. I'm not going to say simple because it is hard to do, but those terms that come up on a normal basis now, saying no, boundaries, those types of things, kind of coaching one-on-one now, but still so difficult for clients to grasp on.
But I
But I
do
was
think we
able.
overcomplicate the healing process. It can be
Yeah,
simple and it can
yeah,
happen fast. I just
yes,
I cannot impress that upon people. It does not have to be a trudge for years. It does not.
right,
It can
right,
be
right,
fun
and
too.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, it can be really fun because you can get
Yeah.
sassy with it for
Oh
sure.
yeah.
And I love what you just said. That was not the case for me because I was not allowing myself to set boundaries, right? I made
Gotcha.
it hard. It was me getting in my own way,
Yeah.
right? But like you said, it can be simple and it can be fast, but you have to be serious. You have to have clarity about what you want, right? And how you choose to use your time. So after the shift, when I was able to set those boundaries, no, I'm not going to take call for you because because I'm available and you've got something to do, but here's three other people that might be able to, right?
Love it.
It
Problem
and
solving.
just
Saying no
yeah,
and problem solving. Yeah.
small little shifts went from the exhausted overwhelm when I got in the car to, oh, I feel good. I can go to dinner tonight.
That's
Like
awesome. I
the
want to get
energy level.
fancy. Yeah.
Yeah, the energy level, right? The everything shifts. The purposeful moments with my child at
Mm.
home, could go out and play in the afternoon, right?
Because you were
Instead of
there. There.
yes,
Yes.
instead because even though I was physically there, because I've always been pretty good at shutting things off, even though I was physically there, my mind was not,
Mhm.
right? So when you set those boundaries of, okay, now I'm present where my feet are,
Mhm.
right? And I can enjoy you playing in the pool instead
Yeah.
of me being on my phone or brainstorming for the next project, right?
Yeah.
Total shift. But it's that intentionality and those setting those boundaries, which again can be so simple, can be fun. It's a
But
lot
you're gonna
funner
be
for me now.
rocking the boat, though. You start rocking the boat on people, and some people don't like that. They don't like you
Oh,
rocking the boat. So,
no. I mean, that's a huge lesson though, because again, I definitely believe people are in your life sometimes for seasons of your life. And sometimes that hurts, but you have to end up being okay with it because it's a better choice for you and the people you serve.
yes, sometimes you do need to let them go because it's
Yeah,
time to let them go because the
it's
relationship is
time.
done. It's
It's
time. It's
time.
time. Let them go. If they're
Yes.
draining you, look, my friends, if you are spending time with somebody and you get done spending time with them and then you feel like you need a nap afterwards, you might want to reconsider that relationship, the
Exactly.
time you're
Yeah.
spending, time, right?
Yes.
Getting
Yes,
back to time.
absolutely. I have a whole
So,
chapter in
yeah.
my book about time with friends, time to say
Oh,
no,
so
right?
good.
Time for fun, but the time with friends, it talks about friends that drain you and
Yeah.
the amount of time, because it doesn't just drain you while you're there.
Mhm.
You leave and you've got a whole nother hour of
It's sticky
like
on
time
you.
suck aftermath,
Yes,
right? I'm like,
it's
they're not even
like
here and I'm still thinking about this. No, I don't have time for that.
that's a boundary. No, I'm good at that
Yes.
now. No
Yes.
toxic people.
Yeah.
Oh
And
my gosh.
instead of I don't have time for that, I'm not going to choose to use my time that way
I
ever
love it.
again.
I love it. I'm not going
Yeah.
to choose because time is a choice and we all
Mhm.
have the same choice to make.
That's
Okay,
right.
got it. Well, if somebody's listening today and they feel overwhelmed or stretched thin or constantly behind, that feeling of I don't have
Mhm.
time, I'm always behind, what is one thing they can do this week that will improve their relationship with time, therefore improving what I loved you said, relationships with humans in your life that you love, care about, and serve? Because
Absolutely.
when your relationships with humans are good, you can skyrocket into the heavens. But when they're
Mhm.
bad, it's all you think about. So
For sure.
yeah, it's so important to have healthy relationships. So if
Mhm.
you have a healthy relationship with time, it's going to improve your relationships with your humans. So what's one small shift, one small thing somebody can do this week to kind of start leaning into making a transformation? And if they get stuck, they can reach out to you.
Yeah, I think being just start to observe how you're using it, right? I love a good time audit, but that is actually not the first step. The first step is, hey, I've just spent 4 hours on this task, 3 hours on this task, whatever, or not even a task. I've just spent 3 hours doing this thing. Let me think about that. How do I feel? Do I feel clarity? Right? Was that done out of clarity? Do I feel, good and relieved? Or do I feel guilt that I just spent 3 hours doing the thing? How do you feel? Just
What kind of
just
rabbit hole did you just get in?
yeah,
Yes.
just acknowledge to yourself how using that time for whatever it was made you feel. And
Okay, so just start
are they
observing.
negative? Yes, are they negative or
Okay.
positive? And then the next step, I will send you into a time audit that will change your life, period. But
Hey, hey,
the
well,
first yeah, the
observe
first simple thing
first.
is yep.
If they get
Yep.
stuck, how do they find you? We're going to list all your stuff on all the places, but how do they find you if they get stuck?
Yes, I'm on all socials, LinkedIn, Instagram. I even have a TikTok that's totally fun for me, and I love it. Instagram, Facebook, CW Holly or Let's Talk Time. There's instant messages on all of those. I always give out my email address, cw at letstalktime.com, and then my uh, website. Good grief. My website is
That's the
letstalktime.com.
important one.
Yes.
We'll make sure it's up. We'll make sure it's up, girl.
Yes,
So people can
yes,
grab
yes.
your book and people can sign up for you. If they are interested in grabbing some coaching time with you, what does your process look like? Do you do a breakthrough call or a consult call with them first? How do you
I
roll?
do. Yes,
Okay.
I do, no cost time strategy call. We just kinda go through, talk about, the pain points, what their goals are, what they want to achieve, how they want to feel, what they want their lives to look like, 45-minute time strategy call. And again, any info through the website or any contact through the website, socials, all goes to the same place. We send you a calendar invite. We get on the calendar and we talk time.
Yeah,
And we
talk time.
and like my book title, Let's Talk Time, Own Your Hours, Rule Your Life. It's about intentional living. It's about ruling your own life, right? And that's what we talk about on the call.
I love that. There's so much
Yeah,
it's so empowering. There's so much power in that. And in in having a healthier relationship with time, it's going to increase your self-respect, it's going to increase your confidence, it's going to increase your courage. So, I mean, it's a win-win across the board. Okay, so
absolutely.
before we let you go though, we always ask people two questions on Notes
Okay.
from the Edge. The first question is, what did you perform in order to survive? I think we kind of already talked about this, but you can
Mm.
talk about it one more time. And what did dropping that mask roller performance, how did it help your life? And then what are some topics you wish we were hearing more about right now?
Yeah, so I'll start with the first one. I think we did cover that. I was definitely corporately performing. It wasn't that I felt imposter syndrome. It wasn't that I felt inadequate. It was just the high performance aspect. And again, that comes from trauma, that comes from,
Mhm.
experiences from childhood, always like captain of the teams, right? The same thing, like
Yeah.
very similar stories. That and I felt like I had on a performance mask. And then when I would get in the car, whew, take it off. Whew.
Yeah.
And we kind of talked
But
about what
we're
that
not
led to.
trained how to be ourselves in
No.
all arenas. And so that's what I was telling you about my current practice with myself and my clients is congruence in all arenas. Can you be yourself, the same
Yes.
person
Yeah.
with a corporate suit on? Sure, put your corporate suit
Sure.
back on,
Yeah.
but can you be the same person? Because there's integrity in that.
Right.
It's
For
very
sure.
integral and it does build that self-esteem and that respect. And so I love this relationship with time. I think this is going to shift a lot of people's lives, my friend. What a fascinating
Yeah.
thing to uncover and discover and to teach to people. And I think we overlook it and we take it for granted
We
and
do.
we don't realize how precious and valuable and how it is a choice for us.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely, absolutely. I don't think I answered your second question well, but I
yes.
will I will leave you with this part. If we're thinking about managing our time, we've got to get away from this idea of time management. If you're thinking about time management, which is surviving, right? Unless you're doing it really well, that's time strategy. It's like walking on a treadmill. You're moving, but you're not going anywhere,
Mm,
right? And you're just getting exhausted, you know?
yeah.
Um,
And frustrated.
Compa Yeah, and frustrating compared to climbing Mount Everest or climbing a mount hiking up a mountain. You're moving, you're going to different heights, you're seeing different scenery, you are enjoying different aspects of the nature walk. I compare like that's time traction. You've got different ground under your feet when you continue to move in time strategy.
And
So,
there's forward momentum.
yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I
Yeah.
love that. Forward momentum. Well, my friends, please reach out to CW if you practice this process this week and get stuck. She's absolutely amazing and she's got an amazing group. Maybe we'll have her back on next time to talk about that. But I will be seeing you in person soon, my friend. And
Awesome.
Thank you so much. It's been an honor to have you on here. Friends, thank you so much for hanging out. A few of you hung out the entire time. We value and appreciate you, and we will see you next time. In the meantime, ask yourself, what did you perform in order to survive? Is it still serving you? What happens if you drop it? And what are the conversations you really want to be having? Welcome to the edge, my friends. We'll see you next time.